HR are going to be playing. They should know a lot of their game plan now. If they can absorb that and just take that into account, then they can take the 2-0 instead of the 2-1.
It's more than likely, you know. NiP are traditionally the better team than Hellraisers, but I have a bit of faith, you know. I feel like that maybe there might be a bit of an upset coming through. You know, we haven't seen many of those in the qualifiers, but it'll be very, very interesting as Angel does start things off, taking down Rez and looking for Draken as the next man on the T side, pushing quickly in towards ramp, and Angel is still challenging. We'll get that double kill, shutting down Draken and Rez. They're out of the server, and now it's just left to exist Forest and Get Right, the main three veterans of the NiP T side, to push in towards the B side. They have got Crossfire set, a backstab can come in towards play from Zero. And they have time to play with that. A two-man advantage here, Hellraisers.
Forest slow and steady. Taps down Angel. Still a lot more to do as the plant will come in. NiP pulling out that advantage. Still, though, one man lost to play with, which isn't ideal. But with the bomb ticking away, at least does give them a bit of confidence to work with. Dead Fox, Zero, Woxic all grouping up now from Connector. Get Right struggling somewhat, but eventually pulls 2 kills out of the bag, looking for a third. Dead Fox trying to reclaim something, but Forest taking down Issa just adds to the problems of Hellraisers at this point. Just one man with a kit, 2 players to find a bomb to defuse. Very little time to work with even with that kit. Hopping around the site, getting close and personal, takes down assist, smoke onto the bomb. Having second thoughts, a bit too slow, straight onto it now, and that's where Forest can easily tap him down.
Dead Fox taking a little bit too long to get in towards that site. You could have smoked that down immediately, probably stuck it, and Forest would have had a bit of a hard time trying to find him through the smoke, but taking a little bit of a reservation in terms of the amount of time that he had on that timer. 1-0. NiP take themselves a pistol, and you can see that their aggressive buy here is not trying to waste any time. They want to get themselves straight into the matchup, a nice solid lead, not allow Hellraisers any room to breathe here. They are buying down CZ's Deagle's armor, etc. And Issa are going to prove exactly why they will do that. They will take down Forest as the opening frags. That's one of those AKs already out of the action, already that can go to the favor of Hellraisers. They could go into T-Con, pick that up, and potentially frag back against NiP, but also for a save right now. They have got 2 players on the B side, and the bomb is on Rez. The rest of the T side force making their way in towards this B setup here. Woxic will get the AK. Thank you, Razor Synapse, for disconnecting my things and giving me a nice Windows notification live on the stream. Here we go. Hit coming on through. Draken will take down Issa, and Angel will fall. Very easy for NiP to get themselves into the B side.
Yeah, it's significantly overwhelming now. The majority of those B-side players' rotations have come through, but pick for pick, NiP walk out further ahead. Just 2 players now left standing for Hellraisers, Dead Fox and Woxic. And even then, what can they do aside from a save? An AK, the CZ, both players, of course, with body armor and the helmet on Dead Fox, really adds to the value of Hellraisers saving it for that third round, because they won't have any money to spend, so every penny here counts. It makes that third round just a little bit more competitive for them. Otherwise, it will just be flat USPs for the most part, maybe some P250s, but at least this time they can maybe have an AK, and that's CZ to go in with a smoke and a flash as well. That second CZ on Woxic, I mean, he could drop that to his team just to save $500 or so. So a few very important elements for Hellraisers here going forward. NiP should really have that 3-0.
Yeah, very standard, simple stuff. You know, they bought down. They're looking for the easy conversions. They have rifles. They're going back in with the exact same setup, buying into the AKs that they have lost. Woxic got the AK for Hellraisers, trying to stay alive in towards this next round. Hopefully they can relieve a little bit of rifle investment and potentially do some damage to the Kevlar helmets that NiP will have in play for the actual rifle round itself. But for now, it will just be a basic straight push into the A site. Draken leading the charge of the MAC-10, just building up money, does take down Woxic, and Zero will also fall to the hands of Forest. Draken getting himself a double with an AK in his hands. Looking to turn it into the triple. Yes, he's going to be able to find that. So 1 man, Dead Fox left alive, 1 versus 5. Bomb will go down, and NiP, you know, it is very basic, very easy for this T-side with those conversions going to their favor. It's going to be a 3-0. Let's see what Dead Fox may be able to get a couple of picks here, but probably less than that, I think.
I think that might be wishful thinking at this point. Rez at least going to be caught off, but he'll flick to the right. Dispatch of him with his Galil. And that will urge NiP to push forward in this game as they go 3-0 up and now contend with their first serious piece of opposition. Hellraisers on that buy. It's not pitch perfect, not by a long shot, but it's still weaponry, it's still those rifles more importantly, and it still is them with some utility to work with.
Yeah, rifle round coming into play now for Hellraisers, M4s, FAMAS's, etc. here for the CT side in towards that standard defensive. NiP also going to go very, very quick towards this one. Is actually going to catch Draken off guard, and Zero is going to go around for the flank shot down. Rez looking for Exist. Exist get tags low, but he gets that kill anyway. Get Right follows up in towards Ivy, taking down Dead Fox. He's still fragging, and he will take down Forest. Meanwhile, Woxic will end up falling, and Get Right will get the trade. But look at the HP for NiP. They're in a 1 versus 2 for Angel. This is possible, but Get Right shuts down that line of thinking, takes himself a 3K, takes a 4th for NiP.
Very aggressive work coming in from Hellraisers, but NiP, they throw it right back at them. They just get aggressive themselves as you Get Right basically running headfirst through the Ivy smoke, for example, and that's what gets them so low. But NiP start winning all the duels. That's really what it comes down to. It's so many 1v1s. Very hectic, but 1v1s nonetheless. That do favor NiP. It pushes them up 4-0 now. Hellraisers back on these pistols. Things are looking like not the greatest of starts for the CT side.
Now flashes in. Trying to look for a way through here, but Hellraiser's going to be denied very, very little. And as you say, not really a very great round for Hellraisers. Pistols out. A couple of bits of Kevlar here and there, but not a whole lot available for the CT side to work with. And yeah, they will get a bit of a flank on towards Get Right. He'll still get that kill, and one player pushing in towards T-Con, trying to find a good flank, but just not finding the damage here on towards NiP. So again, this should be a basic round. 5-0 for NiP. Hellraisers, they got Deagles, they got Caesars in play, looking for those headshots, looking to shut players down. They got 60 seconds to do it. NiP got loads of options to work with. I'm not expecting anything too fancy out from Hellraisers. They are spread pretty thin along their ranks. They've already lost Dead Fox. Easter's tag very, very low. So yeah, 45 seconds for NiP to work with.
Worth noting, of course, that I believe NiP started on their T side. On train as well. They got 10-5. Starting to see why. These pistols pushing in close, Get Right fairly low. It was easy picking for a CZ. This going to claim the life of Issa as he burns away in the flames. Forest starting to apply pressure to the A site. Rez still going to be holding that flank, able to deal with Angel. He sneaks out a Pop Dog, leaving just Woxic. That AWP, the scramble from the arms of Get Right. Now trying to run away and save for that 6th round, but a big ask. Especially when you look at the position of Forest, but not just that. Also, the position of Draken means he basically can't escape, and as he does, it'll be a slow peek, and as we know in Counter-Strike, slow peeks aren't all that effective. Just like that, he'll hit the deck, the AWP is going to be saved. And then NiP will stand 5-0 over their opposition, but a double AWP setup from Hellraisers. An all-or-nothing play, very expensive stuff. But let's see if it works out.
Good one indeed. You know, this is the first time the double AWP setup is coming into play, very, very early on in the matchup. Hellraisers could still lock this down. Woxic and Dead Fox on the respective big green guns. One in towards Connector, the other holding out of Ivy. And then we have to challenge very close range. We have to challenge very quickly here. Draken will get the opener onto Dead Fox quickly in towards that peak, in towards that angle, shutting down the opener. And then NiP going to take a lot of map control very, very early on here, just in towards the A site and in towards Ivy. Back behind the red train, and Zero and Co. They just can't really see any of these players with the smoke, and the trains are covering off all the angles. So as a result, NiP can get on through. Issa will be able to frag, take down Get Right, but Zero has fallen, leaving her effectively alone alongside Woxic and Connector as he goes down. The Molotov does push the lone CT back into Connector, and Angel will also fall into Ivy. So AWP 1-on-3 for Woxic. He's already fallen back towards CT spawn, and it's looking likely that he may just save it. Well, he's peeking in. Might get an exit, but I doubt for a retake here.
He's seeing if he can get a pick, because he knows that if he gets at least one pick, then that makes it a much more workable scenario. And as he takes down Forest, suddenly that reality begins to kick in. Also, spotting out the position of Exist, I believe, makes things a little easier. But they are going to be staring down those trains, looking down into that first alleyway. At that point, Woxic starts to go, you know what, I think my journey here is done. I'm just going to save that up. Getting a little close to the smoke for my liking, as we can see the likelihood of a flash play through. Which does happen as a few shots are going to miss Draken. Going to continue his run on forward, but Woxic able to hold the angle. Will secure the frag, and it will go for an AWP 1-1 effectively. And Exist only going to walk away with that rifle. But still, 6-0 for NiP, and for them it was all about the slow A-take. They didn't really rush anything, they just used all the utility and waited for Hellraisers to start to be caught off guard and the picks start to fall into place. And we kind of saw that. I mean, Angel, a good example. He even got a frag before he went down, but it still was NiP at that point just trading, just whittling down the forces of Hellraisers to the 1v3.
And this is a pretty dire spot for Hellraisers to be in. Orp, of course, saved for Woxic, but everybody else has to force play around it. The CZ and Eagle are back in play. And NiP are currently running away with this one. It's looking very, very similar to Optic's game last night against Cloud9 when Cloud9 just absolutely swamped him out of the server. It's a very similar situation here for the Swedes as NiP have a very dominant start in towards this T-side half, and it's just really not looking good as once again 2 picks go to the favour of Rez and Draken. Angel and Woxic down. Orp and a pistol out of play. T-side with a nice bit of map control. Nice man advantage. Bomb will get planted. It's very simple stuff. It's just methodic CS from NiP. And they are dominating the server for it. It looks to be 7-0. Hellraisers, very little chance to retake. And they got to take a knee at some point. They got to think about this. They got to try and figure out what's going wrong because it's really not looking good. And if they can't score anything on the board, NiP will just run away with map 1, and we may not even have a series at all.
I think for NiP right now, you do have to be very proud with how you started. You know, they do seem very aware of DT side that Hellraisers are putting into play. I mean, for NiP, you couldn't ask for anything better, to be honest. You've played a best of 3 against these guys already. You've played the exact same starting sides. So you're going into a game in literally a direct rematch. And it does feel like NiP are somewhat aware of the setups of Hellraisers. I mean, that slow A take, for example, a lot of the stuff they were doing was checking towards very specific angles and really just kind of going Hawkeye on towards the back of those A trains because they knew the Hellraisers were likely going to be playing those passive A setups. They knew in that specific scenario that Hellraisers weren't pushing up towards T-Con, weren't pushing up towards Bob Dog. You know, the furthest they were up was towards the corner of Red Train, and even then they were falling back to Bomb Train.
Hellraisers, not the best CT start on Train. That's definitely not a debatable point at this point in time. We'll try to get aggressive, try to see if they can take players down as they make their way in towards B, but look at Draken, so quick on his feet, AWP in his hand, he'll peek and looking for Angel. May just spot him out here on the Bomb Train. He does see the pixel, does land the flick. No, he doesn't actually. Angel gets away alive and gets a little bit of information for the CTs, but NiP have made their way onto B already. It will be a retake for Hellraisers, and the bomb does go down. Molotov trying to push Angel back, trying to get a single little bit of damage that could end up doing well for him. He'll get a counter grenade and a bit of damage back on Draken, but outside of that, not a whole lot for the CTs. Woxic strikes first, takes down Forest close range. Angel does get a kill. Meanwhile, Get Right taking Issa in the A site. 4 versus 3, favor to Hellraisers, and NiP will hold passive, hold very disciplined right now. Hellraisers need to move quick. They're running out of time, even though they do have the fuse kits, and Zero will strike on towards a kill that does get pretty crucial. Resistant Draken come back up. Draken with a no-scope, looking for Woxic, and he's going to close it with a 3K. Draken, huge entry play, a very nice play into the B site, and locking out the defensive. Triple kill for him, 8 rounds on a board for NiP.
He didn't just lock out the defensive, he locked down that B site, really held it. Fortifying it with that AWP, you couldn't ask for anything more if you're NiP at this point. Get Right on the flank as well, picking your fist over towards that A site. Just a cherry on top, as he could have either full flanked him through connector or just backed off like he did. I mean, there was definitely a very real possibility of a retake there for Hellraiser as well, bear in mind, because NiP ran out of all their utility. They had nothing less. They threw a barrage of flashbang smokes and such, but eventually that all got depleted and Hellraiser was standing with mollies and smokes to their own. They started to push up, but Draken was just a surprise element that changed everything, rewritten the course of history. NiP stand 8-0 over Hellraisers at this point. Trying to see if they can pick and prod out towards this B site. Really anywhere, as they are just spread out in this default, waiting for Hellraisers to do something, instigate some form of aggression, give them that early free pick.
Hellraisers once again limited on what they can use here. UMP at best on Angel. Woxic will fall first, and Angel will try back on towards Forest, looking for existing. Yes, he will actually line up that double kill. The triple round towards the other side. Nope, Draken will take him out, and meanwhile on A site, Get Right will regain control of the situation. But Dead Fox has a backstab of his own right. I didn't even see that coming. The AK now in the hands of the CT side. A 2 versus 2. Bomb will go down on the B. Issa already taking the advanced angle, trying to see if he can catch off Rez or Draken. 2 new big boys for NiP. And Rez is going to hear these footsteps coming. He can already spot out Dead Fox, will shut him down. AK out of play, and now just a Deagle ESA will pick up the AK, see if he can maybe work with it, but getting close range here against Reds. Reds will be able to spray him for the double, and NiP will regain control of the situation. Got a little bit shaky, but that's still more than fine. NiP have lots of money in the bank right now. The economy has been built up so well on the T side. 9-0, Hellraisers. Still on max loss bonus. And yeah, it's not looking good right now. It's a very poor CT start for the Hellraisers.
Hellraisers going for the double op setup once again. Zero going to be getting close, looking towards Popdog, aware that it's being pushed, picks off the first head of Perez, but Forest sneaks out, goes for more, double dips towards Issa. Woxic at least with a quick trade, but Get Right, he's looking ready. Fly through that smoke, buddy. Dead Fox holding the angle, but Get Right so damn quick. Some vintage GTR action as Angel straight in towards Pop. Woxic stuck down in hell. Flash is going to go nice and high, buys him a bit of time to work with. Get Right just going to be holding him off. Exist already taking down Angel. Get Right next in line for a kill. And so he shall. Secures the double. And NiP 10-0.
This is hard to watch. Like, the Hellraisers... What do you need to do at this point is the question they'll be asking themselves. Like, what can we do against NiP, who have just been stomping us out of the server, you know? Like, they're 10-0 up, double digits already. Hellraisers haven't got a single round on a board. Any one linchpin, any one advantage for the CT side would do well so far, but already they will peak it with limited setup. Pistols, Kevlar, some utility here and there, but the AKs are just going to make clean work of that. Forest on 1 HP, still taps on towards one more kill. Woxic will get Exist, and Zero gonna land 2-1 Deegs. Headshots on towards Draken and Rez. Get Right will regain control of the situation, but it's him and Forest. 1 HP on Forest as well. Bomb out in the open. Get Right will try and block off Connector. Stop Woxic from getting this retake on through 34 HP, and Forest is already watching off the flank. 3 kills on 1 HP. Well, credit to the man, but Hellraisers got close. 11-0, still to the favour of NiP.
I mean, at this point, what more do you want? You're looking at 126 ADR, give or take someone Get Right. You're looking at Forest at 110, 11-5, 13-5. 12-5 now, but even then it's a killer piece, but it makes no difference. 11-0, Hellraisers, please. NiP have all the answers. Every single idea that Hellraisers tried to bring in on their CT side, they are just getting crushed. Now Zero trying to go aggressive again. Dead Fox, same storyline, 2 quick kills for him. No trade just yet, so the Swedes under pressure. But they start to peek out. Zero striking. He holds the off angle in the smoke. That leads to a 3-man advantage. I'm going to say it how it is. Surely not. Surely Get Right Exist can't bring this one back.
Don't speak too soon. This is the NiP 1.6 train in its full effect. Get Right looking for a frag back on Zero. Can't quite get it. Also spots Woxic crossing, and will eventually land that headshot, but right now it's still off 2-man advantage for Hellraisers. NiP begin the whittle game. Get Right already tagged up pretty hard. He'll get Zero as well. Exist got on at Issa, and maybe you did speak too soon. Dead Fox will try and back on towards Get Right, but it's all Exist. 1 versus 2. Smoke down into Popdog. Bomb now in CT control, and Angel will lock down the electric box, eventually take that frag, so Hellraisers will regain control, but NiP... Oh, that got very, very scary right there. Quick pause because we have lost 1 man from the NiP side. Making for Draken, so quick technical pause, getting him back in towards the server. But the dream has been broken. NiP will lose 1 to Hellraisers.
Here's a question for you. Why is it NiP to call the first pause? It's 11-1.
I mean...
That says it all. I don't need to sit here and blabber on. It really speaks for itself.
I guess you're probably right, you know, that's something we don't see very often these days, the tactical pauses from teams when they, you know, they really could use it, you know, you have 4 pauses at 30 seconds apiece, you know, like there's not really any excuse, and I think you do leave a little bit of an example there, like, you know, a bit of a point being made, but at the end of the day, it is a technical pause, NiP losing a man, so getting back in towards the server. There he is, Draken, welcome back. But either way, you know, even though they have lost a round, they're still 10 in ahead of Hellraisers, and Hellraisers are buying down in towards this next round. It means that they have to get a connection, otherwise that's going to be basically the end of this map. I don't see a 14-1 half end going to the favour of Hellraisers. Like, you know, it just does not seem likely. They can look for 11-4 at best. NiP with such a stomping start, such a stomping lead. I mean, what more do you say at this point?
There really isn't too much to it. This is the lower bracket final. All on Hellraisers and NiP to step up and try and get themselves a spot in the grand finale of FaZe Clan. I think it is worth noting and touching upon this. The EPICENTER European Qualifiers really is the qualifier of rematches, isn't it? Not only if we had, you know, the rematch right here of NiP Hellraisers for the second time, we potentially could see FaZe NiP for the third time in this qualifier. Three best of threes. Imagine playing the same team, 3 best of threes for 1 qualifier. And a team like FaZe as well. That's gotta suck.
I don't think NiP's track record against FaZe has been the best, but we'll come to that when we get to it. For now, it is up against Hellraisers. Hellraisers with a full buy down. Guns dropped 4-0 and Woxic. Last opportunity, I think, for this CT side to make something of this half. And look at this, Draken back in the server, back into the A site. First pick towards his favour, going aggressive, looking for 0. He lands it directly. Woxic, third man of fall, gets himself out of dodge in time. But Draken with 2 great entries, gaining control for the T side. He will fall alongside Exist, but Forest and Co are here to regain control. It's all on Angel. A 1 versus 3. Bomb down in the A site. He's on a retake. Molotov will push him back. I don't believe it, but Hellraisers are just going to get shut down as quickly as they can get their first on the board.
The thing is that NiP FaZe together, they were literally a trio in the realest sense. You could see, no matter what perspective you were looking at there on screen, Jamie, you could see those 3 players tucked up, all peeking towards the likes of Issa and Woxic when they were facing out from Bomb Train, and they got wrecked because of it, because basically, you're peeking into 3 rifles. What are you going to do? Like, tap one of them down, you're going to get traded by the other. Out of 3 players, one of them is going to kill you. Really is as simple as that, and that's where the round kind of crumbles for Hellraisers, because of just the trading and the team play from NiP. And I think that's something, again, we have to seriously commend NiP for. They seem aware of everything Hellraisers are doing, but they are playing better, which is something that, for me, is actually very important, considering what I've seen from them in the past throughout this qualifier, considering how I saw them play against FaZe. I was very disappointed with some of their team play, some of their basic kind of team setups. But this is looking stronger, so at least for now, map number 1, we're getting a much healthier snapshot of these Swedes.
And looking so far so good from the veterans. Hellraisers are struggling. We'll get that opening tag on towards Existence. Issa will be able to finish off the job, so not completely out of it just yet, but they have been reset, so they are forcing into this next round. Get right with the trade, taking down Eastern. 2 players rather low here for NiP, but yeah, these AKs are going to overwhelm these pistols relatively easily. Just picked going back and forth. 0 with a nice 1D, but that's about all you will find as Forest. We'll close out those last 2 frags. 13-1 NiP. I think it's pretty safe to say at this point this game is all the Swedes at the moment. Hellraisers have really let this one go well past the wayside. Like, even if they get this second round, it's still going to be 13-2. You're looking at a pistol, NiP win that. It's the end. You know, this scoreline is such a huge gap to overcome, and on a T-side train, I just don't think it's possible, Flakes.
Is it suitable right now just to start listening to something got called Hello Darkness, my old friend?
Yeah,
I feel like
think it is
quite suitable right now.
Yeah.
Hellraisers struggling up against a brick wall, quite literally. I don't know how they're going to bring it back, but hey, I think you got to put all your might into it. Everything you can, and just take it round by round. See if you can connect to anything. Also, you got 1 on the board. 13-2 could be kind of nice. I'm not really going to sit there and hype it up as it makes much difference, but it's a start. NiP getting freely let out to the B site. Unfortunately, the smoke doesn't really help. It's just peeking out from upper, just picking them apart. Damage being done. The Deagle's trying so hard, but the mismatch in weaponry just kind of sucks. Angel got a spray on away. Hip firing on towards Rez, and it does pay off. With an advantage, 2 low HP players. Can they close it out? Angel picking up the AK now, getting close. Draken completely blind, but knows exactly where Angel's coming from. Flicks out to the right, takes him down. Flips out to the left, deals with him. Draken, good for a double, hungry for more. Woxic now going to be locked in towards that bomb train, holding for that secondary repeat. It does come through. That's where the scout can strike. 2 versus 2. Again, 0 picking up that AK. Angel couldn't make it work, but perhaps 0 can. As that bomb is ticking, exists ready to sneak out. Molly comes through, but he gets the kill, makes it a 1v1. Get right dancing around the train. Found himself his partner. They are rocking it with the tango right now. Get right, playing the time to a T. He's only gone and done it. Hellraisers, they will not be doing anything. 14-1 for the Ninjas in Pajamas.
That was a tough half. It really was, but I gotta give credit to Draken. You know, his AWP play has just been on point this round. You know, this half. You know, we just saw a double kill with 4 HP on that AWP for the B-side defensive. Draken is playing out of his mind today, so and apparently the Kraken spams are doing well for NiP on this day. 14-1. Hellraisers need a pistol.
The Kraken, feed the Draken.
Yes, that is correct. 14-1 in NiP are dominating. Hellraisers are struggling. A T-side push to come through in the pistol round. They need a pistol, they need a rifle. They need plenty to bring this comeback. And again, I've already made my standpoint very, very clear. I do not think it's possible. But round 16, try as they might, tease in towards Apps. They have got a pretty decent defensive NiP. Gambling on this B site. Angel and Zero will be the first players to peek. Looking in, do spot one player. Outside of that, NiP not going to take too many advanced angles. Just hold passive. Just wait for the T-side to move. Pop Dog can come to rotate. Bomb on Dead Fox is making his way in there. So a rotation. Quick hit from T-Con as well. He exists down to 3 HP. Looking good so far for Hellraisers.
Push starts to come through. Draken. Oh, has he been fed? There's the kill. Zero, though, a double. As he pulls one out of the bag with the Glock and gets a second too. Issa, one of his own as he takes down Get Right. Rez, meanwhile, did secure a trade, but not for long as Zero opens up for his 3rd kill of the round. Leaving just exist 3 HP. 3 players to find. A tough one. A real tough one. Zero gonna finish him off. A 4K in the pistol. Hellraisers up to 2. It's a long slog back, but you gotta start somewhere.
I still don't think it's possible. I mean, there's still so many rounds to go. NiP only need 1 good round to break the Hellraisers' economy, and then from there it's all over. You know, like if they get this next, you know, if they get even 3 kills in this next round, that puts Hellraisers in serious danger territory. Then after that, you know, rifle buy for NiP, match point, then 16-2. You know, that's all they need to find. So 14 on the board. Once again, 2-4 Hellraisers. At least getting a bit of ground to work with. As you say, you know, that's the opportunity opening up for the T side. Need to make good on the rest of that opportunity. 1 minute 20. Early faces not leading to any tags, or any frags, I should say. Get Right has been tagged at 77. And Dead Fox almost getting a little bit of damage onto Draken himself, but outside of that, a bit of a stack coming in from the CTs in the B site. T is stacked in towards Ivy. Draken is alone on this defensive. See what you can find. Maybe an opening pick. Yeah, he does find Angel. Very good headshot. 1 dig to take him out of the action. Does he spot Issa as well? No, back turn to him. But he's looking towards Dead Fox, and Issa hasn't taken the advantage. Oh, this could get very, very risky if they're not careful. Spotting out Zero. Frags, tags. Eventually Issa will find it. Opening up the A-site. Bomb will go down. NiP. Not a retake, I think, is likely.
Starting to push through. Issa knows exactly where the majority of that CT force is coming from. Peeks out again. There's a bit more damage, peppering them away with his AK-47. 3rd repeat finally leads to a kill. Damage being done exists. Does take down Woxic, bear in mind, but Zero tapping on away, dismisses Get Right. Sends him back to the days of 1.6s. He's going to have to depart the round. Forest and Exist now. Only 2 remaining. NiP. Very little to play with here. Just going to be looking still for those exit frags.
Like I said, any damage done would be great. If they can take one of these AKs out of the hands of the T side, then it would be perfect. Aim Punch is doing good for it. The bomb explosion may catch Issa or Dead Fox. But I think they've gotten away relatively alive here. Oh, Issa got very, very close there, but that would have been a death that would have been huge. And damage, economy damage done to Hellraisers and NiP when they have their buy. Can still shut it down. Still, AK's out to play. Should be another buyback here from Hellraisers. And they got a Mac 10 on Angel, so a little bit of building here with that SMG. Hopefully Hellraisers can recover that economy, so that way it won't be a clean wipe the moment NiP connect themselves a couple of rifle rounds. For now, it will be a basic ego for them. Exist getting a UMP out of the last round, the equation. Draken really looking and trying to see if he can shut players down. He's been good with the Deagles so far, but players closing in close range is just never going to be able to handle it from two different angles. Get right could get Issa. Does tap him down, doesn't get that headshot. Looking for the second man, 3 versus 3. map1 picked up by Forest. Might be able to do something with it, but either way, they should get locked out of the site. Bomb go down. Forest will fall as well. 21 HP on Get Right, 1 versus 3.
Not really going to be expecting Get Right. Too much here. Not even going to be holding the site, instead running away over on towards B. Really banking on finding that exit. May get the timing on towards 0, but no. They're just a few seconds ahead, in fact. Will allow to take him down and push Hellraisers up to 4. 10 being the difference. But this is the buy from NiP, and this is where things get really difficult now. A lot riding on this round. If NiP take this, they have their first map point. That's so simple. There's a little bit of money left among some of these Hellraisers players. I mean, you look at 4.2k on Dead Fox, Angel with a bit as well. Patrick, good old 0, 7,750. So Hellraisers won't be flat out broke. Well, they're going to start to struggle.
It has been a struggle all game long. Starting to bring a little bit of ground back once again, just grinding their way up. The journey of 1,000 miles, as you would say. For the T side, Draken getting aggressive with the AWP, pushed up right close to T-Con. Hellraisers still got time to play with, so they won't push in too aggressive. And Bomb yet to commit either as well, so just playing this default, looking for picks. Trying to catch off one of the CTs on an overextension, and they have been offered a couple opportunities to do so, but so far nothing will come through. Angel may feel the wrath of Draken. I think that shoulder peek just got him that information. He's backed off. He's not going to go peeking. Meanwhile, Issa in Ivy pushes. Exist will shut him down. So opening frag for NiP. 0 does chime back to the 4 versus 4 as Dead Fox is there with him. Smokes on the crosses. Flashbangs in towards sight. He does get a good flick on towards Forest, but Draken is here. Woxic to try him right back. Leave it to Exist and Rez. Last 2 and a 2 on 3, but 0 and Angel are tagged low. 16 HP apiece. It doesn't stop them from fragging as Angel will prove shutting down Rez. Exist, the last man here over at the green train, will get spotted by Woxic, who closes things out with a double and a 5th round for Hellraisers.
Well, here we go. It starts to become a bit of reality now. 5 rounds for Hellraisers, just like you say. They are starting to make something out of this game. They got a long way back still, and I'm going to find myself repeating that a fair bit. Just to kind of stress just how far it really is. But at the same time, they got themselves the first buy, which is important. NiP now going to be on just these pistols. It will be a flashbang, a frag grenade or 2. But it's Deagles and P250s up against a full buy. Hellraisers should be able to take this round with relative ease. And from there, they're up to 6. They win another buy, potentially 7 or even 8.
Starting to look a little bit better for Hellraisers in that regard. It should be a free round as well, so this is just better for them. Winning the pistol, winning the rifle, push NiP to max loss bonus. Start gaining some ground back, and that does pose the question: when did Train become T-sided? As Hellraisers will prove against the NiP CTs. Draken's got himself close range again because his aggression has just been perfect today. Look at this, he's going to get very aggressive. Woxic does catch him off guard, does punish him for his deeds as a CT, not playing the defensive angles. So opening pick for Hellraisers, but this round going to be relatively predictable. No armor for NiP, nothing really of notable stance for the CTs. So not really expecting a whole lot out of this round in particular. Angel needs to get the openers. Woxic gets a shot on to Get Right, leaving Rez alone. In drop down, in pop though, looking for 0. Unable to find that kill of his own right. 14-6. NiP still in the lead. Hellraisers, well, as we were saying, they're starting to gain some ground. They've got a decent standing right here. Their economy has been built. They're now out of the reset danger zone. So let's see if NiP with their double up setup can shut it down, or whether they will continue to fall victim to the Hellraisers T side.
Thankfully for NiP, they have a lot of rounds to work with, right? So they can experiment, try and find that one strategy that breaks Hellraisers, and from there, it should be enough to close out the game, at least when you look at it, fairly simply. Problem is, Hellraiser been getting the jump on them time and time again. Dead Fox taking down Rez, the damage that Zero is able to do on towards Forest. 15 HP is all that he's got left. The frag grenade almost closely gunning for him, but it will miss, and he can walk away for the most part unscathed. But Rez has fallen anyway. Draken's starting to trade things back, but it's just again Angel stepping out. Get right, at least good for one. But really, the pressure is on Forest to get some use out of him on 15 HP because Get Right likely going to die between those trains, and so he does.
What can Forest do? 15 HP on him. AWP looking in towards Ivy, but they retake off for the man. No defuse kit, low HP. Woxic will peek. Oh, trying to go for the no-scope, but can't quite land it. Forest also trading shots back and forth, and now T's know exactly where he is. Dead Fox may just peek in, throw it out a shot, get that kill. Leave NiP with nothing to work with in the next, but yeah, very slow matchup so far from both sides. Hellraisers slowly just grinding their way through and through. They have managed to take 6 in a row. NiP yet to score on their CT side, which is great for Hellraisers because, you know, this is exactly what they need. This is exactly what I was saying was highly unlikely to happen to them, because now they actually at a decent scoreline where they could potentially bring this one back, but NiP will try to see if they can do something with the basic grenade spam in towards T-Con. Woxic take the 52, but no kills. NiP playing aggressive on the A site could catch T-side players off guard. Look at this 4-man crossfire set in T-Con. If they can shut down Angel, then that could be an opener. NiP eco round, but they will take the first and tag Woxic to 10.
A lot of damage being done thanks to those mollies. You can see him just ticking away. Finally, NiP escaping. Zero taking a lick of his own. Dead Fox taking down Exists, starting to open things back up again for Hellraisers. Dead Fox the second. Woxic clearing out that B site. This will go for the plant. Problem for NiP is they may have got themselves a pick to work with, but it is just an eco, which means they have no real stopping power. They have to play so far back, so far out of the action. When something truly comes their way, they are just left speechless. That's really what we see here. They walk up towards the B site, plant comes in, and NiP over on A basically going to be there just relaxing with an AK.
Yeah, NiP able to get a kill out of this round. So, you know, considering what they had to work with, not that bad. Of course, AK safe for Draken. Relieving a little bit of investment, putting a little bit extra firepower on the CT South in the next round. Those Kevlar helmets that Hellraisers will buy into. Actually, Rez getting Easter as well, so, you know, economical damage if he can get that AK. Nope, not going to find it, but that's fine. Again, just, you know, whittling down Hellraisers bit by bit. They've managed to build up a decent economy, so you have to do quite an amount of work to break it now. But they've got an AK to play with on Get Right, and they will have a quick pause here. I'm not sure who this is for or what the reasons are for, because my chat is disabled. Flakes, do you want to fill us in with all the juicy gossip of the match?
It looks like Issa just had a little bit of a lag issue. They're all ready to go now.
Okay, then.
Nonetheless, I have to wait for the admin, of course, to return and make sure that things are all good and sorted.
Indeed
there
they
we
are.
go.
14-8 so far. NiP with the buy down, of course, the AK in play for Get Right. See if they can tap some heads as they make their way on through. Hellraisers sitting pretty at the moment. Only 2 rounds from losing it, but they are bringing it back. The end of this half, the last half, 14-1 down, and now they are 14-8 down. So not a bad half so far from the T side.
Woxic opening up on Exist, already not looking too good for NiP. Get Right, trying to claw back some damage through the wall, but nothing really going to come of it just yet. Dead Fox is down to 60, but 40 HP isn't really going to be a telltale difference in this round just yet. Hellraisers grouping up as well. I'm going to send Angel to work out a pop dog. There's a lot of flexibility in this T side right now. They have no real commitment to either side. Get Right, going to be getting aggressive though. Catches Angel with a frag grenade in hand. Draken still aware that Ivy is clear. And at this point, the call should come in that something's up, and it's likely to be that B site. Get Right pushes forward, confirms that as he takes down Dead Fox. The smokes come through. Forest beginning to let rip. but finds nothing. Because Hellraiser, again, they are a flexible team, just like I talked about. They're rotating back towards the A site.
Okay, this get right is so close. Grenade down, spraying on through, does get Issa, looking for the second man. Zero drops to his death. It's Woxic alone, AWP. Bomb on his back, but 3 players defined on the NiP CT side, and finally they will lock out the 15th round with a little bit of pincering play, a little bit of smart play on that backstab, the information gathering from the CT side, and Get Right will be essentially off his own back secure round 15 for NiP. Huge misplay, huge great play from NiP. And now a chance to close this one out once and for all here. 15-8, map point NiP. Hellraiser still have 7 rounds to make up for overtime.
Took a long time for NiP to get that round. A very long time. 7 rounds Hellraisers were able to pull out. 7 rounds. Don't expect it. Let's see if Hellraisers can keep the dream alive. Or it will be the Swedes pushing us out, closing this game. Or at least map number 1. So far, very slow play. Neither team really doing much at all. What's interesting for me is looking back to that past best of 3. Looking back to the scoreline on train. It was 16-11, and I'm starting to see why we can get to that point now. As Hellraiser, the T side is much more well held together. Aggression, though, from NiP, at least is going to catch them off guard as Exist pushes up onto Dead Fox.
Opening frag once again. For Hellraisers,
this is harsh. Issa's timed out. Damage was done. That aggression from Dead Fox. That's actually so unfortunate. Because he was taken down, he might not be able to replay. Which leaves Issa just standing here at a brick wall as his team get picked apart, completely helpless.
Oh my god. I can't believe that. There's no way this is the way this match ends. Issa's actually timed out. Woxic is left alone. Yeah, he's timed out. I can't believe it. What a round for that to happen. All on Woxic. 1 versus... He's at... What on earth? How is that a way to end the match?